In today's episode of Homestead How, we spot a bald eagle, we get some amazing photographs on and about our homestead. We'll show you those at the end of the video as we do in every episode of Homestead How. Always watch till the end. Today we're going to talk about some big mistakes we made on our homestead, mistakes that you should avoid yourself. Kerry here from Homestead How. Welcome to our homestead. In today's video, we're going to tell you about a bunch of mistakes we've made as homesteaders over the last 6 years. These are mistakes that you should avoid. A big mistake we made. This one is unexcusable. You guys are going to say you're a bunch of idiots. We are. We're rookies. We came from the city. We've had lots of pets. For one reason or another, we ended up getting this goat right here. Boo! That goat over there. Boo! Those are male goats, and male goats are useless. Now, in fairness, they are actually providing some value for our homestead because we have an Airbnb rental. And we have a lot of guests that come and they want to experience what it's like on a homestead and they want to pet farm animals. These are a major attraction. And not only that, they're kind of like a one-trick pony. They like to go for walks. Stop following me everywhere! So our Airbnb guests, that's one big thing they love to do is they'll come down, they'll open the gate, and they'll take the goats for a walk around the property, and the goats will follow them around. I think I hear a turkey. It's turkey hunting season. Leave me alone! I'm trying to hunt turkey! They'll open the gate, and they'll take the goats for a walk around the property, and the goats will follow them around like a dog. They heel like a dog and they'll follow you all around the property as you go for walks. So these male goats are providing some value. Otherwise, male goats are pretty much worthless. If you hear a squishy sound, that's the end of the goat. If you're a new homesteader like we are and you're moving from the city and you've never lived out in the country and you're all gung-ho, you may just jump the gun and make a big mistake like we did. Don't get male goats. One of the first mistakes we made 6 years ago was we got all gung-ho and we built this chicken coop. It's a pretty cool looking little chicken coop, but it's shortly after rotted out, and while it looks cute and nice, it wasn't very functional. The lid to lift the eggs out was really heavy. A couple of years after that, we ended up getting this chicken tractor, which we absolutely love. If we were to do it over again, I wouldn't have built that chicken coop. I would have built a chicken tractor or purchased a chicken tractor. Chicken tractors can be expensive, but you can build them for relatively inexpensive. And we could have built one for the cost of this chicken coop easily. And then we could move it around and it'd be more portable. We've had the bottom rot out on that coop a couple times now. So that was one of the biggest mistakes we made. We were all excited getting our homestead 6 years ago. That was one of the first things we built, and we built it too quickly and we didn't put enough thought into it. So make sure you plan things out and put a lot of consideration into your chicken coop. Think what's going to happen 5 years down the road. This is our homestead garden. We started this early on in the process, and one of the biggest mistakes we've made that we're still paying for 6 years later is not paying enough attention to our garden. As rookie homesteaders moving from the city, we thought, hey, you got a garden, you got a plot of land, you put some seeds down and you put some water on it and you have food. No, that is not how it works. In fact, it could take years to build up and amend your soil and get it so you have the nutrients so that you can grow food. And we've struggled.
This is my watermelon. It's been like this for months. They're flowering. There's no weeds.
Every single year we have really sandy soil here. We've tested out different things, but from day one, I wish that we would have put much more attention on our garden, amending our soil, doing soil tests, composting, adding worms to the soil, and getting it where it needs to be, because we're 6 years later now and we're still struggling. Although we are having a pretty good year so far with our tomatoes. You can see all those green ones back there. We've got a couple of red ones coming in, so tomatoes are looking nicer, but it took way too long. And for people out there that are worried about things going on in the world and prepping and things like that, who think, well, I got a bunch of seeds and I got room. If things go south and I can't go to the grocery store and buy food, I'll just plant some seeds. You need to think twice about that. It could literally take you a couple years to get a good garden going. So you want to get that going right away. I wish we would have paid attention to our garden, number one, instead of worrying about our chicken coop and getting goats and all of the other many projects that we were focused on. Another big mistake we made as homesteaders is inadequate fencing. This stuff. This welded wire fencing we had everywhere, and it fell apart everywhere. That's our new fencing. We did a video on that late last year. That is continuous steel fencing. We got that from a company. I'll leave a link in the description below. That stuff has been a lifesaver. The goats haven't been able to get out since. They were escaping all the time before. Chickens are getting into the garden. Goats are getting into the garden because of inadequate fencing. So don't be cheap like we were. All right, the gate's done. And really consider the fencing you're gonna get, especially if you have goats. Goats are amazing escape artists, and they will get out of your fencing. That was another mistake we made, is we invested a lot of money and time putting up this crappy fencing, fixing the fencing, welding in other pieces to it, putting boards across it, adding on, just to try to get it to work. I wish that we had invested in proper fencing from day one. Another big mistake we made on our homestead is in regards to water. This is our IBC tote. It collects rainwater for us. This is our backup system for water. Other than this, we don't have any natural water on our homestead, and that's a big mistake. I wish when we purchased our homestead that we purchased one that had a creek or a river or a pond or a lake or some sort of natural water. We don't have that. The only thing we have is this IBC tote collecting rainwater as a backup beyond our water source, which is a well that's 100 feet underground. It's an electric pump. If there's ever a big disaster or something, the electricity goes out and we can't get to that water, this is our only backup. So consider your water situation strongly. Another mistake we made on our homestead is not getting solar. So we built a small solar trailer on our homestead, and that's great to use for power at our dog kennel or over by the greenhouse or wherever we may need it for a very limited supply of power. We want to get our entire homestead off-grid and running on solar, and I wish that's something we invested in earlier. We made a big investment in our outdoor wood burner, and I'm still happy that we did that because we heat 2 properties with our Airbnb rental. It also heats all of our water, and heat in central Wisconsin is a big expense. However, we have spent money on other projects like building tiny houses that were large investments that I wish we would have instead spent that money on solar, and that's something we're hoping to do in the upcoming year, is put the money down and install a solar system for our house so that we can get off grid in terms of electricity. So those were some of the big mistakes we've made on our homestead. Please leave a comment down below. What mistakes have you made on your own homestead? And if you're interested in learning more or seeing some of the other videos that we referenced in this one, check out our channel. Be sure to subscribe. We have a ton of playlists showing all of the projects like the solar trailer and the fencing. Thanks a lot for watching.